The old schoolhouse in Claremont, California is a scare factor 4, which means, don't go alone. Though there are several shops now, this used to be the old high school. There have been reports of hearing children's voices, when there is no kids around. Others have seen a white mist, floating just above the ground. Doors will fly open, for no apparent reason. And many have a feeling, that they're being watched. Prospect Park in Redlands is marked a scare factor 4, which means don't go alone. It is known to be haunted by several different ghosts. We have felt the presence of something not human that lingers around the stage area. Years ago, a teenage girl was raped and murdered, and her body was left center stage. Sunny Slope Cemetery in Beaumont, California is a scare factor 5, protect your soul. Some people have said that they have felt cold spots on hot days. Plus getting eerie feelings, imagine that, at a cemetery no less, now that's unheard of. Also feeling a hand touching you. There have been reports that former caretakers haunt the cemetery. And when you approach them, they disappear from sight. The Captain's Anchorage in Big Bear, California, is a scare factor 3, which means don't go alone. It is home to a ghost named George, who likes to play tricks on the staff. For example, there was a harpsichord in the upstairs dining room that would play on its own. A dumbwaiter that would run during electrical blackouts. Chairs would be rearranged when you had your back turned. So if you visit the Captain's Anchorage in Big Bear, California, make sure you say hi to George for us. Castle Park in Riverside, California is a scare factor 4, which means don't go alone. Employees have reported seeing a ghost wearing a white dress. Said to be the wife of a former owner, who is evidently not done owning the place. Sightings also include a spirit standing on the balcony above the Plaza Cafe. Also a sighting by the train tunnel. All these ghosts are having a good time at Castle Park, for free. Redlands High School Clock Auditorium is a scare factor 5, which means protect your soul. Believed to be haunted by a teenage presence who lost his girlfriend in a car accident. He was so distraught by her death that he would climb up into the theater's rafters and write poems about her. He died in an accident in the theater, falling off the scaffolding, and now haunts the theater at all hours. Hillside Cemetery in Redlands is a scare factor 5, which means protect your soul. It is a very old cemetery, with interments dating back to the mid-1800s. Many people have reported strange things happening there, such as car horns honking by themselves, balls being thrown over the walls. Honestly, looking for ghosts in a cemetery is like looking for a donut in a Krispy Kreme. George Air Force Base in the high desert is a scare factor 5, which means fear the unknown. It is also now private property. In the housing tract there is a presence that takes over a person's mind and may cause them to hurt themselves. The hospital has ghosts wandering the halls as if they were looking for something. The Air Force Base may be closed, but it seems to be as active as it was when it was open. Payless Shoe Source in Banning is a scare factor 3, which means don't go alone. Witnesses have seen a child running back and forth from aisle to aisle, then disappearing from sight. We have been told that it has been difficult keeping new employees around. Once they seen the little ghost, they quit without notice. There was a story of a young mother and her 5-year-old boy who so badly wanted a specific pair of shoes, but his mother said no. And like most little boys, he threw a fit, so much so that when a customer came in, he ran out of the store and was struck by a car and died. Now the little boy can look at his favorite shoes all he wants, but he still cannot have them. In Barrage, California. Holcomb Valley, north of Big Bear Lake, in the San Bernardino Mountains, is a scare factor 4, which means never go alone. It was settled in 1860 by gold miners from around the country. It soon became a bloody Civil War battleground, as prospectors, with rival Union and Confederate sympathies, started gunning for each other. A number of old graves, and a still standing hangman's tree, are spooky reminders of the past. These are the mountains, where the dead roam free. If you're lucky, you'll catch a glimpse of a ghost of an old miner, carrying their lights through the woods. Still busy looking, and searching, and hoping that one night, maybe this night, they will find the gold they think they deserve. If not, then there will be hell to pay in Big Bear, California. Bracken Fern Manor, in Lake Arrowhead, California, is a scare factor 4, which means don't go alone. On July the 4th, 1929, Bugsy Siegel opened the Arrowhead of the Pines Club. Gambling, liquor and women were some of the accommodations. The roaring 20s have come and gone now, but the dark and violent atmosphere of long ago remains. Reports of ghostly girl prostitutes are seen hovering around up the stairs are common. One of the ghosts from yesteryear, who is often seen, was a prostitute named Violet, who, after the mob killed her lover, fell into a deep depression and committed suicide. The scent of her violet perfume hails her arrival. Another ghost is that of a little boy. He met his death when he was trampled by a team of horses. Today, his small footsteps are often seen in the snow surrounding the manor. The Barrage mansion in Redlands, California is a scare factor 3 and a private property. That means unless they invited you, there is no trespassing. The Redlands mansion, known as Monte Vista. This is the House of 1,000 Stairs, which was designed by architect Charles Brigham. Built on 20 acres at a construction cost of $100,000, it was the most expensive home in Redlands. Occupied for only 2 months a year, for several years, the mansion was mainly used for entertaining. There were elaborate parties in the glass-surrounded swimming pool, which could be covered by a wooden floor for dancing. Sold to the church for $15,000 in 1940. The Victory Knoll sisters remained until 1974, calling the home the Queen of the Missions. It seems as if those nuns have decided to stay and way past their deaths. So the story goes, they are there to ward off all evil spirits that may come to haunt the home and its occupants.